What's up, rope droppers? We are back for another week's episode. Kristen and I are
Hey everybody,
talking about all of our favorite things to do in the Walt Disney World parks. We're going to start by talking about Hollywood Studios. Tower of Terror is a classic, is one that I have to do multiple times. Rock and Roller Coaster is over there. They have a single rider line, and so if you're looking to save some extra time, good choice for that. Tower of Terror, what are your thoughts on like the drop ride?
I love Tower of Terror. My only complaint with Tower of Terror is that it's so short. And I'm older than Alexis, and not that I grew up with the black and white Twilight Zones or anything like that, but they were on when I was a kid. They were on in reruns, so I had seen a lot of them, which kind of, really made the Tower of Terror fun because I had watched those with my parents as a kid and things like that. But the ride itself, it's just like up, zoom through, and it's over. But I love the drop. I love, especially when they changed it after a few years so that it's multiple drops and it's different every time. I want a themed hotel. I want a Disney resort that is themed like the Hollywood Hotel.
That would be cool. Yeah, the drops are different every time. That's something I recently learned. I didn't necessarily know that. I feel like the ride is a completely different experience at night compared to during the day, because during the day, like when you're there, the windows that open, there's a little bit of daylight and you can see like right before you drop, but at night it's just pitch black, and that almost like freaks me out a little bit more every time.
Yeah, I love that too. And I will say, like, I have this totally irrational giant pet peeve. When you're in the room where, kind of the pre-show where the TV's in the corner and you're kind of in the old library or whatever, it ticks me off so bad when people talk through that pre-show of any other pre-show. Like, it's so annoying. And I'm always like, there could be somebody that's in here for the first time or whatever, and you're ruining it. Or like people that just have to do something obnoxious, or I don't know. Like, it really makes me mad because it's such a cool pre-show and it really sets the mood. And I'm just like, shh, no one says anything.
That is a cool pre-show. Like, there are some pre-shows that I'm like, I've seen this so many times. I'm good to keep on moving, but that one is pretty cool every single time. Rock and Roller Coaster, is that a must-do for you?
I'm not gonna say it's a must-do. Like, I wouldn't be completely disappointed if I just couldn't get to it. I do love it, but I kind of feel like it's getting dated. I love Aerosmith, always will. I love the Aerosmith music in my ears, but I just kind of feel like now that we have like Guardians and Tron and these really amazing updated indoor coasters, like, feels a little bit when I ride Rock and Roller Coaster like I'm just kind of cruising through somebody's art project. Like, it's just like the big black light painted things, and just feel like maybe we could jazz it up a little in there and just bring it to life a little more. But I really like that pre-show too. So, I'm good. I can always do it.
It definitely does need some updates to it. The 0 to 60 takeoff gets me every single time, and it's crazy. And I like it compared to like Tron and Guardians and all these new rides that we have now. It does feel a lot not as advanced, I suppose. Kind of making our way through the park. Another must-do for me is, it used to be the Great Movie Ride, and it has been reimagined as Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say. I like Mickey and Minnie's. I think it's super cute, but it's also not one that if I'm not able to get to for the day, I'm not super sad about it. What are your thoughts about changing from the Great Movie Ride over to Mickey and Minnie?
So I loved the Great Movie Ride and all of its hokiness. I really did. So I was torn because part of me thought, okay, instead of replacing it, you could have really made that Great Movie Ride cool. I think they could have updated it. They could have done some different movies, and like, it still could have been amazing. My favorite part of Great Movie Ride, I will forever love Munchkinland, because I felt like for its time, that was so immersive. I loved that movie growing up, still do. I really felt like I was sitting in that movie scene, and I just loved that. It was so magical for me every single time. I loved it so much. But I love the Runaway Railway. I think it's so cute. That song is one of my favorite Disney songs ever. I love the whole thing. It's super fun. But I kind of wish we could have had both. I wish we could have updated Great Movie and still had Runaway Railway come in someplace else.
Yeah, I agree. I like them both. I only got to ride the Great Movie Ride maybe 2 times, maybe 3. So I didn't ride it a ton, but the one like scene that sticks out is the Munchkin scene. I feel like the song in Mickey and Minnie's really does it for me. I like that song a lot.
Like, if you can hear that song and not want to dance around and feel really happy, I can't hang out with you, because it is the catchiest, cutest little song I've ever
Yes.
seen. And I don't even like Goofy that much, but that ride has made me love Goofy. Like,
Oh
he's
yeah.
so cute in there driving the train, and I'm like, all right, I'm a fan now. Like, it totally turned me into a Goofy fan. I love it.
Yes, me too. I'm trying to picture the park in my head as we talk about it.
Let's head into Toy Story Land.
Okay, perfect. Do you have a ride you want to start with?
Toy Story Mania. I love it.
Okay. Toy Story Mania. I compare it to Buzz Lightyear Ranger Spin in Magic Kingdom or Toy Story Mania. Which one do you prefer?
I hate Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. I hate it. I hate it. I don't know. I hate that, but I love Toy Story Mania. Even though I'm like, I don't care if I ever play a video game in real life, but there's just something so fun about Toy Story Mania. And even if you're like me and you're not a video game person, you can still have so much fun. Space Ranger Spin, I don't care.
My family is pretty competitive, and so every time we ride Toy Story Mania, it's like a competition between all of us. Whoever's in the car competing against one another, we're trying to win. But Buzz Lightyear is not like that for me, because I've never figured it out. Like, I've seen like hacks and things. If you hit this, you'll get more points, and I just have never figured it out because it's never quite accurate. But Toy Story Mania, definitely a must-do for me in Toy Story Land. What else we got over there? We have Slinky Dog Dash. That one, like, it kind of is crazy because no matter what time of the year it is, Slinky Dog Dash has such a long line. Like, it's like as popular as, almost as popular maybe as Flight of Passage. I feel like Flight of Passage is just obnoxious.
I feel the same about Slinky Dog and Seven Dwarfs, and I love both rides.
Yes.
But I usually am like, if I don't get a lightning lane, like, I'm not waiting 2 hours for either one of those.
Same.
I love them both. But and the Slinky, like, both of those lines, especially Slinky Dog, is so hot.
Yeah,
like, they do have those little
miserable
umbrellas, but like, it is a miserably hot line. You're outside basically the entire time, and then if it rains, it's just gross. It's a yucky line, so not fun for me. But I do love the ride. I think it's a really cute little coaster.
Yeah, I agree. That one definitely depends on the line for the day. Like, if I miss out on it, it's not the end of the world. We have the swirling saucers. Alien swirling saucers. Those are, I feel like the kids love the alien swirling saucers, but I don't know if it's something that I have to do every single time. Over to Galaxy's Edge. Star Wars fans, I feel like, really enjoy this land. I've done the Millennium Falcon, and I've only done Rise of the Resistance once. I've tried to do Rise more. There was one time I waited in line and the ride broke down, and that it seems like that's something that's common for Rise of the Resistance. Yeah. So that was kind of a bummer. I've done Millennium Falcon. I will admit that I haven't actually waited in the regular line for Millennium Falcon. I've only done single rider, and because of that, I've never done anything other than like the last two, like, and isn't one of them like engineer or something. Yeah. So I've never done pilot on Millennium Falcon. Have you done that at all?
No. So I am usually either, like you said, I'm single rider, which, if you're single rider, you're not going to really push into whatever position you want. You kind of just go wherever you need to be. Yeah. I've done it single rider, but even when I've done it like with my aunt or whatever, I've always ended up in the engineer seat. And do I like it? Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's really fun. I kind of get tired of just being the engineer who just sits there and pushes the light up buttons. I think it's a really good ride. I like it better than Rise of the Resistance, actually.
I really want to try it again, because Millennium Falcon, I feel like if you're not in one of the front two seat, your experience is not as fun maybe as those, but
I agree. This is an unpopular opinion. I don't get the hype on Rise. For me, it's not exciting. I just feel like you're in this slow moving vehicle. It's almost like you're watching a movie, but I don't feel like you're part of it. I do enjoy seeing the stuff, especially when you ride through the room. I forget what the giant guys are called with the, huge long legs, the big metal monster looking.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I think that's cool. I think the room with all the stormtroopers is super cool. Like, there's really cool stuff to look at, and I like Star Wars too, so that's all cool. But the ride itself, I'm just like, you're always just like, and it's
that's
just a slow thing. And so it's cool stuff to see. I don't find it exciting though. And I don't get the hype on it.
That's true. It's not a very thrilling ride. And I feel like the things that stick out to me the most about that ride is the queue. I agree. I don't know why. Yeah. I don't know why it's such, like, it's another one that the line is always so obnoxiously long. that's really hard to get into.
It's just got to be us though, because the world loves it. And so I
Yeah.
mean, no skin there. No, I don't care. But I think like we're in the minority.
Yeah.
Let's go get an ice cream. So I don't know.
Yeah, I feel the same about that one.
Star Tours is kind of over there.
Yeah.
And I actually love Star Tours. I love it. I do. But I love when they updated Star Tours, and now you always get 2 stories and you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
I think it's really fun. Of the 3 Star Wars rides, that's my favorite.
Yeah, Star Tours is one that I do every time, and I always hope that I don't know if you know what the Darth Vader version is, but I love the Darth Vader version of that ride.
That one's killer.
Yeah, I feel like I know the most about that ride compared to Rise of the Resistance or even Millennium Falcon. Muppets. I like the Muppets show. I will do it if I need a break from the heat and I just kind of want to chill for a second. Muppets is great. And I feel like someone that has never done that one before, I feel like it's one you got to do. It's really cool. Do you do Muppets every single time?
I really do. I love the Muppets. From when I was little, I watched, the Great Muppet Movie and Muppets Take Manhattan. And I always loved that, goofy humor. I love the ride. I love the little pre-show. But I will say, if they don't get those seats replaced in that theater, oh my God, they're so gross and dingy and ugh, I don't even like to sit in them in shorts because I'm like, this is just, they're getting really gross. But I do. I love the ride. I think it's so cute and clever. I never get tired of it. So I'll do it anytime.
It's a good one. I like that one. That one is similar to Mickey's PhilharMagic and Magic Kingdom. And I love Mickey's PhilharMagic. And so Muppets is really cool too.
We kind of have to talk about the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular. What do you think about that one?
Yeah. I haven't done that one in years. I will admit, I saw it once and I felt like I was good after that. I'm not a huge Indiana Jones fan, and so I just never was super into it. It's usually a skip for me, I will say.
It's a skip for me too. I hadn't done it since before COVID, and of course it took a long time to come back after COVID.
Yeah.
But we did it, not this year, but when it had first opened again after COVID, I did it with my aunt. But I think it's cute, but I feel like I was really disappointed that they didn't make some changes and maybe update the script or, just maybe make some changes. It's fun to watch, especially for the first time. But I was kind of like, oh man, you had a whole pandemic to rewrite that and maybe update it a little bit with all the, Indiana Jones stuff that's come out lately, and they didn't. So I think kind of missed an opportunity there.
They could have totally done so much more with the show because of the movie. I do feel like I need to give it a chance again because it's been a while. Okay, Beauty and the Beast live. I saw that show once, and that was another show where I was like, oh, yeah, I'm kind of good on that. But I feel like if you're with a family with young kids, they're going to love that show. Oh, the Frozen sing-along.
Oh, the Frozen sing-along.
Yes, I've seen that a couple times, and it was before COVID, though, so it's been a little while. Between, the Frozen sing-along or the Beauty and the Beast, live-action kind of sing-along, too. I like the Frozen one better.
Me too.
What are your thoughts?
So I had never done the Frozen sing-along because I think in my mind, as a music teacher, and my aunt that I go to Disney with, she's a retired music teacher too. And I think we were like, okay, the last thing we want is to sit in a theater of kids screaming, "Let it go." That sounds horrific. It was delightful. It was funny. It was, they did it in a great way. I thought it was witty, and I really was pleasantly surprised. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I just remember the end where the snow falls down on you was so cool.
Yes.
Being in that theater. Fantasmic. Love Fantasmic.
Fantasmic.
It's gosh, that's probably my top show in all of Disney. I think I even like Fantasmic over Happily Ever After. I don't know.
Too.
I'm a Mickey fan, and so I love Mickey, and the fact that the whole show is based around Mickey and all the special effects and the water stuff and the characters going by. That's always a must-do.
I adore Fantasmic. I agree with you. I love Happily Ever After. I was so happy when it came back. I've loved a lot of the shows throughout the years. But I feel about Fantasmic the way I think a lot of people feel about Happily Ever After. There's something magical about Fantasmic. I think it's this amazing mix of so many old school animated projections. There's really old things in those projections, even back from Fantasia and Pinocchio and all those really old films. And then you've got, you know, at the end when the boats come around, it should be so cheesy to have characters on those boats, but it's not. It's like beautiful and wonderful. I just feel like Fantasmic is like the quintessential, it's the most Disney thing I could watch. And it makes me happy every time. I love it.